Welcome back, YouTube. This is Trilla with Blerdsbgaming, and we're back here with Chicken Police. So a recap, Sonny Featherland just got hypnotized by Natasha Kutsenko as she was singing. And right now what we're going to do is speak to her and then later on speak to a private investigator by the name of Philmar. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so as usual, there are a lot of things to see here. Actually, not that many. Start with the painting.
Gee, that is a unique picture and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
Okay. Grab this book. The 7th rule of predation. Interesting. Can we turn any other pages? A Chicken Police story. So you know about me, Natasha. All right, let's go ahead and
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
Okay. Does she always keep luggage there? I guess this could be used as a chest. All right, the chandelier.
You got a beautiful place here, Natasha. A peaceful little island on the ocean of madness with very classy furniture.
Ibn likes me surrounded by elegant things, you know?
You're an elegant thing yourself, sweetheart.
Oh, that's charming. Thank you, detective.
I mean, is it... Okay, let's go ahead and talk to her.
This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
All right, let's look at this new information. Okay, we saw that one earlier. Anything new about Natasha? So we know she owns the Star Club. She was the singing sensation. Okay, we know that one as well. Natasha is a mysterious woman indeed and seems dangerous too, but she's undoubtedly in serious trouble. The question is she the source of the problem or someone else? New. Oh, do we read the meat substitutes? We're going to read it here. Meat replacement or meat substitute foods made it possible to reduce meat consumption, predation, and domestic cannibalism in the whole wilderness. These products are widespread nowadays and are not only popular with predators, but all kinds of animals. Okay. All right, so let's question Natasha.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger.
We have to be a little cagey. Maybe play to her confidence. We'll see. That was a remarkable performance.
That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time. But this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean.
Okay, this place is very elegant, and so's your room. The picture on the wall is quite daring. I feel like we've already discussed that, but at the same time, like, we've already discussed about how elegant her room is, so.
The picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
Creepy, but okay.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Hopefully you mean older than younger.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
You tell me.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats? What can you tell me about Ibn Wessler? Okay. Well, let's keep it focused. I want to talk about Ibn, but we really are here about her threats. That was a tough one. I think I'm going to go with... Actually, I think I want to go with Ibn.
What can you tell me about Ibn Wessler?
You should be more specific. What do you want to know?
Don't you think this is a cliched formula, the bimbo and the mob boss? How did you meet Ibn, if I'm not too intrusive? How much do you know about Ibn's business dealings? Okay, I'm not going to use the first one. I'm not intending to insult her. So it's going to be one of these two. I want to say Ibn's business because I'm actually the most curious about that. But it would be nice to see if her recollection of how they met and Ibn's actually match up. If they don't, then that could cause me to really think. I'm going to go with...
How did you meet Ibn, if I'm not too intrusive?
I'm gonna be really disappointed if they match and I'm like, I wasted a question.
Of course you're intrusive, but I guess that's an occupational hazard.
Well, yes.
I was a dancer here in the club, in Anita Jenkins' chorus. When she was in a good mood and allowed it, sometimes I even did her vocals for her, although she thought I was an upstart little whore.
If Ibn has anything to do with it, ... How does Ibn treat you nowadays? Don't you see a correlation between your partner's activities and the threats? I'm gonna go. Oof. These are actually like, this is the first time I really felt like these are actually really good questions. I really hate to say that. I mean, some of the other ones are okay, but like this one seems like really on the nose. So, how does Ibn treat you nowadays is a real key one. I really want to go with that one, but don't you see a correlation between your partner's activities and the threats? It's also really big. I mean, it's the first thing I would go to if she's like the mob boss's, like, you know, main attraction, and then like, you know, other people were trying to get on in his business. Of course, they would actually go after her. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I will go with, how does Ibn treat you nowadays? I'm
Don't
gonna go
you
with this
see
one.
a correlation between your partner's activity and the threats?
That's a disappointing cop-like question.
Yeah.
I am a cop.
Yes, but you're different. You're too rough on the outside and too vulnerable on the inside for a
Am I that
Oh,
transparent?
sorry.
a little bit. My eyesight's better than most.
Seriously, Natasha, don't you worry about the possibility of a connection?
Of course I worry about it. I'm not stupid. Those who are clever learn to fear. I learned at a young age, before I even had the chance to live.
Gee, well, thank you for your honesty. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know.
Okay, did we lose? Actually, no, we didn't lose anything on that one. What was in those threats exactly?
What was in those threats exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
I suggest you lie low. What about Philmar? Is he here because of you? I kind of don't want to give him away if he's not, you know? Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you? No one's ever seen the culprit, not even a shadow? I'm going to go with that one.
No one's ever seen the culprit? Not even a shadow?
That's one of the most curious things. Ibn has men everywhere, literally, my shadows, ghosts in every alley, but no one saw anything.
One of them could be the culprit.
Ibn pays his animals well, and he's the most dangerous man in the city. A combination that nullifies your theory, I believe?
Maybe, ma'am. Love is capable of insane miracles and miraculous insanity.
What poetry! Did you ever think about writing a book?
I have actually.
Never. I'm afraid I'd learn too much about myself.
Oh, Sonny, don't be shy about your manuscript on your desk.
Maybe that's the point. I would read about you. Not like the Chicken Police Pulp Fiction.
Furry hell. Do you read that trash?
Like everyone else in the city.
Oh, great.
I think it's flattering, even as badly written tales of heroes in the gutter.
You enjoy it?
Well, just a little, Sonny. Just a little.
Though it's not a fan and not an inside job, who do you suspect? A dark shadow from the past, ex-lover, a husband maybe? I'm gonna go with the first one.
So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who do you suspect?
Aren't you supposed to know that?
Sure, but don't you have some idea?
Usually, yes. But I've got nothing to go on. And you don't have a hunch.
Maybe I do. But first, I want to know if you'll even accept my case.
Why withhold that from me? Okay.
I'm here, aren't I?
That's true, but I must know if I can trust you.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I wish it was that simple.
Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Let's stop beating around the bush. How do you know Molly?
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Honestly, I mean, I get it. You were desperate enough to get him, but like at the same time, if she has nothing to do with it, you really shouldn't have brought up her name.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Luck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing.
What exactly do you want from me? You played me from the start, didn't you? I mean, yes, she did, but who cares? I want to know what she wants.
What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes.
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue.
Ooh, okay, I asked 10 questions instead of 9 this time, but my focus is still at 90%. Okay, so important clue. The threat, or rather the threatening word in the messages sent to Natasha is simple, whore. It's brief, but says a lot regardless. Okay.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Okay, so we're gonna look and see first before we leave her room. So we do have something new in our pouch here, our briefcase. A key. I don't believe we had that before, so that's good to know. And now let's look and see about our codexes. All right. This is another clue. Natasha is afraid and her fear is genuine, but she isn't telling me everything regardless, and I don't like it. Okay. Don't see anything else. The 3 things is what we had in here. All right, so let's go ahead and leave. Wonder if there was anything new with Ibn. All right, so let's get out of here. And now we have to, before we meet with Natasha at the new location, we have to go ahead and see Philmar, and hopefully he can shine a little bit more light on what's going on. But for right now, we are going to end it here. I hope everybody enjoyed this. And just let us know down in the comments if you have anything to say, if you're like interested in the story. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.